Welcome back to part 19 of my 1 to 60 Alliance leveling guide. We left off having just hit level 55 and heading into Winterspring through Timbermaw Hold. So when you enter Winterspring, talk to Salfa just outside for the quest Winterfall activity, then ride south to Donova. From her, grab the two quests, Strange Sources and Threat of the Winterfall.
Keep your feet on the ground. Be good.
Then head east, and in the snow, scattered around here, you should start finding moon-touched feathers we need for the quest Moon-touched Wildkin. Unlike the Hinterlands version of this quest, these feathers don't spawn everywhere, but are more abundant in these areas just east of Donova, so try to grab as many as you can while we're in this area now. We will be doubling back here in a bit though, so loot and scoot your way east until you reach Timbermaw Post. In Timbermaw Post, we need to start killing some furbolgs. We have 3 objectives here, and all 3 of them overlap. 2 quests want us to kill the exact same mobs. It seems like a bug, but if I recall correctly, this functioned like this in vanilla as well. One wants us to kill 8 of them, the other wants us to kill 6 of them. So basically we need 8. For the totemics and the pathfinders, they are pretty easy to find here, but the den watchers don't really spawn much in this area, but don't stress it, we will worry about them somewhere else in a little bit. Prioritize killing the 8 pathfinders and the totemics and keep looting the feathers around here as well, but we also want to get a random quest starting item off of these furbolg called an empty firewater flask. In addition, these guys also drop Winterfall firewater, and another totem quest that can't be turned in unless we hit neutral with the Timbermaw furbolgs. So keep killing around here until you get all the pathfinders and the totemics, and get the empty firewater flask, and accept the quest from it, and then try to get the 10 moon-touched feathers here as well. When you're done, go back to the road. Then ride east towards Everlook. When you reach the fork in the road near Everlook, follow it north instead until you find the path westward into Starfall village. Enter Starfall village, and inside the building turn in the quest Starfall and Enraged Wildkin if you have it. Accept the ruins of Kel'Thuzil and turn that in, and then take the 2 follow-ups, Enraged Wildkin and Troubled Spirits of Kel'Thuzil. Then go back on the road and ride to Everlook for realsies this time. In Everlook, we've got some quests to grab. First, grab on the north side, Are We There Yeti? And just kidding, that's pretty much all you needed to grab right now. Your quest log's still probably a little bit full, so next, go northeast out of Everlook around the eastern mountain. You should find a road that'll lead you to Winterfall village, and around here there should be tons of den watchers. So use this time now to kill the 8 of them you need to finish the 2 quests, Threat of the Winterfall and Winterfall activity. As long as you pull them one by one, you should have no problems with these guys. But be aware this is a popular farming spot for those that do need Timbermaw rep if you're not playing on a fresh server. When it's done, if you did Sunken Temple, we do have another quick pit stop north of here. Hug the eastern mountains and you'll find a tiny house with Umbrants sitting there. Turn in the quest in Aranicus' own words, and that's really all we needed to do. So then head back south to Everlook, and continue past Everlook and go southwest to Lake Keltharil. At this lake, we just have one quest to loot 4 relics around the lake. The ghosts here are not particularly deadly and we can avoid most of them. So just run around to the 4 relics marked on the map here and interact with them until you have all 4 relic fragments. Once you get the relic fragments, you can destroy the mining pick to save bag space. Then we're gonna ride west back to Denova, and if you don't have the 10 moon-touched feathers yet, you need to get them now. When you reach Denova, turn in the quests Winterfall Firewater and Threat of the Winterfall, and accept the follow-up Falling to Corruption.
Keep your feet on the ground. Watch your back.
Then go back towards Timbermaw Hold. Outside, talk to Salva to turn in Winterfall activity. Then we'll be running back through Timbermaw Hold to Felwood. When you get to Felwood, our target here is the cauldron on the northwestern side of the Felpaw village. The easiest way to get there is to drop down north off the mountain and clear around the northern cliffs westward. The cauldron itself is surrounded by a pretty big pool of furbolgs typically. One of them should be a Winterfall runner. Try to kill the single pulls you can around the camp so that you can safely use Intimidating Shout without getting ads. Then go for the big pull and obviously focus the shaman first. It is a hard fight, but you should manage, and the worst case scenario, you kill one, die, and come back and then finish the rest off. You can also suicide and try to talk to the cauldron that way, turn in the quest Falling to Corruption, and then accept the follow-up Mystery Goo. And then we will be done here. So get out of the Felpaw village south, and then ride back on the road to Winterspring through Timbermaw Hold. When you get back to Winterspring, we're going to just ride on back to Denova. Turn in the quest Mystery Goo and accept the follow-up Toxic Horrors. Then we will be hearthing back to Darnassus. In Darnassus, we can bank the 4 relic fragments and also destroy the pickaxe if you haven't already. The quest for these ruin fragments of Keltharil we won't turn in until level 59, so these things just clog your bags. Next, look around for the Herald that roams around central Darnassus. She should have the quest Call to Arms the Plaguelands. If Cenarian Hold is available, she'll also have the quest The New Frontier. If she has the New Frontier, take the quest and then go up and talk to Staghelm in the north and turn it in for the follow-up, which asks you to turn it in on the 2nd floor for another follow-up called Rabin something. If you can't do these quests, it just means Cenarian Hold isn't working on your server yet, so don't stress it. You should also train your level 54 abilities here if you haven't, then go south into the Temple of the Moon. Jump into the water in the Temple of the Moon and use Eridan's Vial to get a Vial of Blessed Water. Then we will go to the Purple Light thing to head to Ruttharan village. In Ruttharan, make sure you turn in the quest Moon-Touched Wildkin and accept the follow-up Find Ranshala. Then we will fly for our last time to Astronar in Ashenvale. When you land in Astronar, make the super fun run to Southern Felwood. Woohoo! When you get into Felwood, go east off the road and turn in all of the corrupted shards you got to get lots of Cenarian plant salves, so you can start cleansing all the plants you find for consumables and buffs in this last cycle of Felwood. Then continue to Emerald Sanctuary. Turn in the quest Dousing the Flames of Protection for a final blow, and turn in Rescue from Jadenar for Retribution of the Light. Turn in Silver Heart for the quest Aquamentus, then turn in Fellbound Ancients for the quest Purified, and turn that in as well for a Flute of the Ancients. Now a big note about the quest Aquamentus, you should have gotten a bag in your inventory for this quest. The bag contains multiple quest items. Do not mess with this bag until we are going to do the quest. It's very common that the items in this bag will bug out, disappear, despawn, and then you can't do the quest. So don't touch it, just leave everything in the bag until we actually do the Aquamentus quest later on. Now once more, we're gonna go with feeling, ride north into Felwood, and our destination is, for the 4th goddamn time, Jadenar. We need to get into Shadowhold again. By this time you probably have all the mob spawns memorized, so clear through Jadenar into Shadowhold. This time around, the quests aren't that bad in Shadowhold, but they are very far into this dungeon. It's a long way down, so keep using line of sight and avoid the ads from the fleeing mechanic, and watch out for patrols as you clear your way inside. Once you get to the Vile Oozes, you'll be in new territory, but it's just more of the same. Clear past the oozes and continue in. The room beyond the ooze room will have an altar in the middle with 4 casters around it and a succubus named Rakaya. We need to kill the succubus for the quest Retribution of the Light, and luckily the casters don't aggro unless you hit them or get too close. So you should be able to solo pull Rakaya by herself, and she's nothing special. When she's dead, the quest to turn in at the corpse on the altar should light up, which means you do need to clear around the altar until you can get access to the body. Line of sight is your best friend here to avoid the casters casting on the double pulls. Once you can, talk to the corpse and turn in Retribution of the Light and accept the remains of Trey Lightforge. Then we will continue clearing deeper into Shadowhold. The next room has multiple paths. It's easy to get lost, so we just need to take the left and then go straight ahead down the tunnel in front of us. This will open up into a huge room where we'll see Mura, Salia, and Feldan. We need to kill all 3 of them for the quest, but for this fight we want to use Intimidating Shout and run around using line of sight, so it's best to fully clear this room before you pull them. This is one of those weird quests where it's actually easier to do this if you are alone, because otherwise the succubi will mind control. This level 60 Horde Warlock was trying to help, and well, things worked out in the end, so it's okay. But charge in, Intimidating Shout, and focus down Feldan and stop his casts. Once he's dead, the succubus can be kited and easily dealt with.
not enough range.
Make sure you loot Feldon's head, and then you're finally, completely, once and for all, done with Jadenar. So make the long trek outside, happily clearing through the respawns.
It's too far. I can't do that. I can't do that.
When you finally get back to the road, we will be riding north further into Felwood and east around the bend, and then take the path off the road into Iron Tree Woods. And then clear towards the green water here, where you should find toxic horrors. We need to kill them and get 3 droplets for the quest Toxic Horrors, so pull them one by one and you should be able to get the 3 droplets you need without much difficulty.
That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
When you have the 3 droplets, make your way south of the water to a set of ruined pillars and clear around here.
It's too far away.
When you get into the ruins, use the Flute of the Ancients and it should make a big spooky tree appear named Array. If he doesn't, it means someone else is doing the escort, and you can clear around and wait for them to be done. When he's there, from him, take the quest Ancient Spirit. This is a really easy escort because Array is just so damn tanky. The actual challenge is just to do enough damage to all the mobs he pulls to get as much experience from them as possible. He'll wander around the lake until he makes it back north to the road.
I can't do that. Not ready yet. I can't do that.
I can't recall the escort exactly, but at the road, expect an ambush of Iron Tree Stompers. You can let Array tank for quite a while, so it should be easy going to help him kill them, then complete the quest.
Ability isn't ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
Now the fun part is turning in these quests. First we need to run all the way south to Emerald Sanctuary, down through Felwood. When you get to Emerald Sanctuary, turn in the quest A Final Blow and the remains of Trey Lightforge for massive chunks of experience.
Ancestors watch over
Ishnu Allah. Goddess watch over you.
Then we have to keep riding south into Ashenvale. Follow this path eastwards once you get into Ashenvale through the wilderness, as it's the quickest way to our destination, Forest Song. When you get to Forest Song, here we can talk to Kana to turn in Ancient Spirit. It's tedious, but it's another big chunk of experience. Then we will ride to Ashara to the flight path, where we can easily fly back to Talon Branch Glade in Felwood.
How may I help?
When you land, clear up your bags and then ride through Timbermaw Hold into Winterspring. Go south to Denova and turn in the quest and accept Winterfall runners. There are two methods to do this quest for Winterfall runners. You can go back into Felwood and kill the runner that's next to the cauldron, or you can look for the runners that spawn on the road in Winterspring. The runners patrol from Timbermaw Hold's entrance all the way to the eastern Timbermaw camp that's east of Everlook. Since we want to go east anyway, try to encounter them on the road. If you can't, it can be frustrating, so honestly I recommend getting the reliable spawned one in Felwood that was near the cauldron in Felpaw Village, but you usually find the runners if you run along their path. Once you kill them, loot the crate from them and then head south of Everlook. In the wilderness just south of Everlook, you ought to find the Ice Thistle Hills and lots of yeti. Start killing them for their fur to complete the quest Are We There Yeti. The fur drop rate isn't that high, so you'll likely be killing them a while. They use an annoying freeze ability, but we can't really do anything about it. Just take note that some of these yeti are much higher level than the others, so try to kill the lowbie ones while you can for this quest. Once you get the 10 fur you need, which can take a while, go straight back to Everlook. Turn in the quest Are We There Yeti and accept the follow-up of the same name.
Welcome, friend. Glad I could help.
Then go back to the Ice Thistle Hills. This time around we need 2 pristine yeti horns, and these only drop off the matriarchs and patriarchs, the higher level yeti. The drop rate is low and they mainly spawn deeper in the cave. This quest can infamously take a while, but we've got nothing better to do, so slaughter the yeti until you get the 2 horns. Then head back out to the main road. Follow the road south. And then east of the road you should find the quest turn in for Ranshala, but don't turn that in yet. A little bit south, you'll find a little weak trail going west off the road with a ruined wagon. It's from here we want to go further west into the wilderness until you find crazed owl beasts in a destroyed camp. These owl beasts can hit hard and they moonfire, so try to pull them one at a time. Clear your way into the camp until you can interact with the ruined crate and turn in enraged wildkin for the follow-up. Then go back to the road where you saw that ruined wagon. Talk to the wagon to turn in enraged wildkin for the follow-up, and then loot the crate nearby for Jaron's supplies. Then we will continue on the road southward. All we want to do down south here is discover Dark Whisker Gorge to complete the quest Strange Sources. So ride south until it finishes. Then we will go back north towards Ranshala that we saw east of the road. When you find her, turn in the quest Find Ranshala and accept the follow-up Guardians of the Altar. This is an easy peasy escort, it just takes a while. Let Ranshala lead the charge so she engages each fight as you clear through the Owl Wing thicket. While we're doing this quest though, be sure to loot the owl beasts as we need the blue feathered amulet for the quest Enraged Wildkin that drops off of any one of them here. Basically, Ranshala will go into each of the 5 caves and ask you to light a torch inside. Just keep your HP up and this escort should go by without much trouble. Some of the owl beasts are 58, but so is Ranshala, so you should be hunky dunky. Think of this more as a grind quest than an escort. When the quest finishes, make sure you also have the blue feathered amulet. If you don't, keep killing until you get it, and then when you have it, go back to the road and ride back to Everlook. In Everlook, turn in the quest Are We There Yeti and accept the follow-up.
Time is money, friend. If you ever need
Then go to Lagaki and use Umi's mechanical yeti to scare her. Clear your bags, check for the major healing potion recipe if you don't have it in the northwest house. Also head into the inn now and there should be 2 quests from a guy on the left. 1 quest from the Red Path girl as well, but do not take the Red Path girl's quest. But take the 2 quests from the other guy, Gregor, the Everlook report and Duke Nicholas Zverenhoff. Then we will ride north back to Starfall village. In Starfall, turn in the quest Enraged Wildkin.
How are ya? Safe travels.
Then make your way west back to Denova. When you get to her, turn in Strange Sources and Winterfall runners, don't bother with the follow-up. Now before we move on, we want to be level 56, so if you aren't 56, you need to grind around here on Furbolgs or Wildlife until you ding. Then move on to the last step of Winterspring. Now the last step we have here is 2 ifs. Number 1, if you did Mauradon, and or if the Cenarian Hold quests are up and running. If either of these are true, go into Timbermaw Hold and head north into Moonglade. Otherwise, you can just hearth right now. But for those of you that it is true, just go into Timbermaw Hold and when you reach the fork, take the north path into Moonglade. Start by going east in Moonglade along the road until you find the Alliance flight path. Then head west and north until you find the big old Keeper of the Grove and turn in the Mauradon quest Seed of Life. And then for the Cenarian Hold quest, go into Nighthaven and into the southeastern building. Turn in the quest Rabin Saturna and accept Wasteland. This may also open up the quest from him a Reliquary of Purity. Accept it if you can, but that's a Dire Maul quest chain, so I have no idea if it'll be available in early phases of Classic. Then we will hearth back to Darnassus with everybody else. In Darnassus, we will head to Ruttheran village first. In the house, turn in Guardians of the Altar and accept Wildkin of Aloon. Then go back into Darnassus. Go north into the Cenarian Enclave and up the tree and turn in the quest Wildkin of Aloon. Then lastly, you can train your level 56 skills here if you want. Otherwise, clear up your bags and then fly to Aberdeen. From Aberdeen, we will ride the boat to Menethil Harbor. When you get to Menethil, set it as your final Hearthstone destination.
What can I do for ya?
Then fly to Ironforge.
Well met. Farewell.
In Ironforge, grab the quest from the Cenarian Emissary in front of the flight path if you haven't and can take it, and get the quest taking back Silithus. If it's not there, it just means we're gonna have to skip Silithus, not a big deal. Then go to the Hall of Explorers and turn in A Little Slime Goes a Long Way. And then make your way to the High Seat, the Throne Room in Ironforge. Next to Magni, talk to the Royal Historian for the quest Smoldering Ruins of Thaurisan. She'll want to talk to you a bit first, and then turn in the first part, and then accept the follow-up of the same name. Make sure you also grab the Black Dragonflight Molt we got from Searing Gorge. If you put it in the bank, take it out of the bank now, as we're going to need it soon. If you haven't trained your 56 skills in Darnassus, train them here in Ironforge, then we will fly to Lakeshire Redbridge. And that's where we will end part 19 of this leveling guide. We're closing in on the finish line. We'll pick it up again at level 56 when you land in Lakeshire, but until then, I am booping out. Boop.